What is up, everybody? Hello and welcome. It's Friday, some places, still Thursday, other places. Welcome to the happy hour on the MMA Engine. It's me, the MonkMMATician, aka MonkMMATics. It is my guy Lou Betya right above me, the intrepid co-host. And guys, we're going to get into a couple of betting lines and a couple of DraftKings spots for UFC Vegas 80. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the chat. Or welcome from the chat. Welcome to the chat. Jenna Marie, Daz in the house, Juicy Q. Sounds like who's your
Bears.
team? Bears? Okay, gotcha. Oh, there it is, right there.
Had lost 14 games in a row.
Stop it! Really, 14?
Yeah.
Jesus
last
Christ.
10 last year, first 4 this year.
Oh my goodness! Well, congratulations there. So yeah, hopefully we'll have some people rolling in since I think the football game is officially over. Lou, how's it going? You looking forward to this card?
I am, but before we get there, I have to pay a debt for being an idiot and betting two shoeies on fat ass Collier and Usman now. So there's a caveat here. So anybody that watched me last night saw me do a boatload of shoeies. Here's the problem: I was busy all day. I only have one beer in my house. Now it's an 8.7% beer.
Oof.
So we're gonna split the shoey. I'm gonna do a shoey next week also.
Yeah, that's a lot. I remember I drank something in college that was like 8%, and I did not end the night well. That's for sure.
Well, that was probably the butt sex that happened afterwards.
Well,
so
I mean.
Also, I have apologized many times for giving you an 8.7% beer, and then putting it in your butt. But anyway, I'm going to pay my debt right now.
Here we go. Let's see. Oh, we get to see the shoe. Silky, what is up? Hey, ask us again because I will forget even if I star it. Piper sub or decision? That's a good question, actually.
I have a good lean there. I haven't put any of my props into.
What's the beer? What's the?
Oh, this is Flying Dog, the Truth. Jesus Christ, the Truth Imperial IPA.
Nice.
I like a lot of their like varieties. I don't really like their standard IPAs, but like their seasonals are decent, especially this time of the year. I didn't want to do a dark beer for this though. No. And I'm about to die. So here we go.
Out of a black Oxford. Wheezy, just in time for the shoey. Not too many drips there. Oh, there's the mustache. There we go. We get that shoe. You guys know what a shoe smells like, right? That can't be mixed. Actually, the IPA probably not too different in my recollection, to be completely honest.
Oh my God, it's so cold.
This is what happens when you bet on Fat Collier, ladies and gentlemen. Don't bet on be Lou in a lot of other ways. Don't be like Lou when he bets on Fat Collier. Friends don't let friends bet on Black Collier.
So here's the funny
8.7 shoey. Yeah, exactly. Give Lou his props.
So here's the funny thing about doing a shoey out of that shoe. The shoe at this point just smells like beer. It doesn't smell like anything but beer. Is there a technique? Yeah. For, like, hate your life and remember how miserable you feel.
I was supposed to be adding slides this whole time. I was just enjoying the show, just like everyone else.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Well, but consider the debt paid.
No, I got one next week now. But
oh yeah, that's right. Because we're not doing two. He bet two.
I just don't have. If I had 2 beers, I would just eat it. This is literally the only beer I had. So like I had to do 2 of these last night. I'm a fucking idiot.
Did the other ones involve Jake Collier?
No, I lost to Wiz in a football game, and I don't care what he says. He didn't fucking remember. Like, he could say all he wants, but he didn't remember. And then I did one for Jenna to celebrate her because I was already fucking drunk from the first one. I didn't have to do that.
Going shoeys around.
But let's get down to it, man.
Let's do it. Hit the like, hit the sub on the MMA Engine. I know you already are, but do it anyways if you're not. First fight of the night, Montana De La Rosa, the betting favorite. At least according at 2:30 this afternoon. That's when these lines were done on Photoshop. Taking on JJ Aldrich, plus 275. Fight does not go. Minus 350. Fight does go. Minus 147 for De La Rosa, plus 127 for Aldrich, and the very close salaries. We have two $8,200 salaries this week. One is Montana De La Rosa. Why don't you start us off, Lou?
This is one of my 5-track bets. I got De La Rosa early in the week at minus 118. I missed the plus money. If you got it, like, awesome. She's getting like minus 140. Like, I mean, you have 147 up there. Like, all the money's coming in. So I kind of get nervous when I see bets like this.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I mean, look, man, I think Aldrich, this is kind of a step down for De La Rosa. Like, she's used to fighting top tier people in the division. I think Aldrich's takedown defense has been decent, but I don't like her cardio, especially when somebody has been pushing a pace on her that's not named Na Liang. I don't think De La Rosa is going to have a lot of success in the first round, but I think as this fight goes on, even if she's just getting her against the cage, we're missing a sharp guest. I mean, if you want to come on, dude, well, I'll have you. Like, I just did my shoey, so like now I'm in a great mood. Steve, if you want to come on, I'll send you the link, dude. Like, I'm happy to. Just DM me and let me know. So I like De La Rosa. De La Rosa round 2 sub. It's like plus 1,200. Aldrich just kind of falls apart after the first round in a lot of these fights. Even if De La Rosa is not getting takedowns in the first while they're fresh, I still think she's going to get her against the cage. Her striking's not great, but if she's just getting clinch control, I'm trying to tire Aldrich out. Even just her fighting off takedowns, she will get tired. Even just the sub prop itself is like plus 450, so I think it's pretty decent.
Nice. Yeah, for DraftKings, I don't want really any part of Aldrich. I'm not going 0%. If you say if I say I don't want any part or I'm fading, just assume that means 5 to 10%, but not 0. Yeah, good call, Steve. I would also rather I would rather troll as well, to be honest, especially on a Thursday night after a week of.
Well, he had like he had like an all-star cast, man. He had Pepe, he had Chad,
exactly,
and James.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a hell of a lineup too. Yeah, long story short, Aldrich did score 107 against Na Liang, but her average is still 75. So you know how low some of those scores have to be to score 107, and your average over 8 fights is still 75. So I'm not really impressed here. Less than 90 ceiling, guys. Extremely, extremely low. De La Rosa, yeah, give me De La Rosa here. She just got better DraftKings numbers overall, 8,200. I'll play that. Not much else to say about this one. Also, I guess there is just super quick. De La Rosa, her losses, she's 1-3-1 in her last 5. Tatiana Suarez, Macy Barber, and Vivi Arujo. Her draw was against Mayra Buena Silva. So there's some decent ladies on that list for sure. A lot better than the fights for the most part that Aldrich has been going up against, except for Blanchfield. I would never talk shit about Blanchfield. Arichi Lang, the Mongolian murderer. Check out the unnamed nickname show. He wins the unnamed nickname show, the Mongolian murderer, taking on Johnny Munoz Jr. Very, very close fight. Ever so slight underdog. It's basically a pick 'em. Arichi Lang minus 105. The return on Munoz minus 115. These, as I said, were taken from Bet Online at about 2:30 this afternoon, so it could be different now. Minus 150 does not go. Plus 120 goes all 3. Is this right? Did I might have just messed up the salaries. I'll double check while Lou is talking. Actually, I'll start this one off. I like Arichi Lang for DraftKings here. Let me just I'm just all frazzled now that I guess it is.
Did you do a shoey too, or
I guess I did do a shoey, man. I know there's two $8,200 salaries. I just didn't realize that they were literally right after one another. So yeah, I like Arichi Lang. I think there's a lot of possible value here at 8,200, and I just don't. Outside of some possible takedown upside, I'm not a huge fan of Munoz's numbers overall. I think Arichi Lang has a gigantic finish upside. Munoz Jr. scored 83 against Ludwig Sholinian and only 91 against Jamie Simmons. So I really don't think he has a very high ceiling. Arichi Lang has been touched up before. In fact, he got finished in just over a minute by Ayman Zahabi out of the freaking blue, as my guy Chris Penn would say. But other than that, I just like him a little bit better. I think his path to victory scores better. So I like Arichi Lang at 8,200. Lou, what do you got on the Mongolian murderer?
I'm never betting this fight. Like one of my golden rules is don't fade a bad fighter with another bad fighter. Arichi Lang, like, his cardio kind of falls off after 2 rounds. His grappling is like kind of mediocre. His striking is shit. Munoz Jr. is the bigger guy, but his striking shit. And, for a guy that's such a wizard, he's great at losing minutes on the ground. Like, he's happy to be on bottom. I think Arichi Lang can get the optics and at least maybe win the first 2 rounds before he totally gasses. I'd say if you have to bet this fight, if you're just being like an action junkie, it's like a perfect split decision type of fight. I think it goes the distance at a pretty high clip. I was actually surprised that it's like plus money because I don't know, man. Munoz Jr. hasn't looked like some elite guy. Like, this number is based on Arichi Lang getting knocked out. Like, I think he's definitely capable of holding his own on the ground. I will say there's an irony here. If Munoz Jr., because we're getting Southpaw versus Orthodox here, if Munoz Jr. kicks Arichi Lang in the sack and gets a point deducted after what he dealt with last fight with Santos.
Oh, yeah.
But I want nothing to do with betting this fight. Like, I don't like either guy. I love the nickname, the Mongolian Murderer. I like saying Arichi Lang.
Yep.
I mean, there's no way I want to, like, touch this.
No, I completely agree. Another fight. Oh, is it going to? There it is. Another fight that, yeah, I know. We're shaking. See, it's the StreamYard. It's all number one bullshit.
I'm shaking my head at the fight, nothing else.
Oh, okay. Kanako Murata taking on Vanessa Demopoulos. I mean, come on here. Minus 350 for a strawweight. Kanako Murata plus 285 for Demopoulos. Minus 230 fight goes all 3 rounds. 8,900 for Murata. I guess you could call that value, but possibly not. Why don't you go ahead and start us off? Because I really don't have much on this one.
Yeah, so I mean, what could go wrong laying minus 300 in women's MMA with somebody that hasn't fought in years, coming off like a horrible injury? So all that being said, I'm picking Murata. I'm never betting this fight. I'm not parlaying her. I'm not playing any props. If Murata is like 75% of what she was, I think she wins easily here. I don't think either one's, boxing is great. People keep saying Demopoulos has improved boxing, like against who? Jinyu Frey, who throws 3 punches in a fight that I had a bet on Demopoulos, but it was a fight that I think she lost. I got really lucky to win that bet. If this thing hits the ground, Demopoulos is going to want to stay on bottom and like go for arm bars. And Murata's top game is the best part of her game. Like, her grappling's good, her top control's good. She goes for subs. She throws ground and pound. Like, she's varied. But I don't like the layoff and I don't like the number. So I think skill for skill, the number makes sense. The layoff, though, just keeps me off this completely. Yeah, I thought about Demopoulos plus 3.5, like when I first saw it, like if I got a good number. But the more I thought about it, like, I don't know how Demopoulos wins around, because if she's just content to be on bottom, like, she's just losing minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's most likely what's going to happen. But yeah, I'm not touching this one really for DraftKings at all. Big fade. If I have, maybe I'll cap my ownership at Demopoulos for 10% just in case. And I'll maybe double that for Murata. So 20% maybe for Murata overall. But 8,900 is a steep price to pay. She's not even 10xing her salary. 88 points per win. I guess only one win in the UFC, but she scored 88.5 points, and now she's 8,900. So 1,100 over her average salary. Meanwhile, Demopoulos not scoring well either. 87 per win, allowing just 88 per loss. All these numbers in the 80s is probably going to decision. So yeah, I'll pick Murata, but I am not excited for this one as far as DraftKings goes. That is for sure, especially at 8,900. That is wild. Next fight, we've got Mateusz. I already forgot Lou. He'll remind me when he comes back. Mendonce, I forget. Taking on Nate Maness. We outlawed his nickname because there's only one Mayhem, and it's Mayhem Miller. There is no Mayhem Maness. Sorry, I was reading the comments where it said Vanessa. 9K for Mendonça. I don't mind him this week against Maness. I think he probably wins, but he was not impressive against. He did have to fight one of the Bash brothers. I believe Javid Basharat was who his UFC debut was against. So did not look great in that one. His stats also don't look very good at all. He didn't even land 30 strikes, got taken down 3 times, but it is Javid Basharat here. Nate Maness lost to Umar Nurmagomedov, went all 3 with Umar, but got handily beaten, as you would imagine, and then proceeded to lose to Tajir Ulanbekov in the third minute, I should say, but beat Tony Gravely, Luke Sanders, and Munoz Jr. before that. I just think Mendonça and Luke, please correct me, How do you say his name?
I've heard it a couple of ways. Mendonce.
That's what I was going for. I'm picking him. I like him for DraftKings 8,900. Let's just say I'd much rather have him at what's his price? 9K. I'd much rather have him at 9K than Kanako Murata at 8,900. I'll just say that. So give me Mendonce for the win. Give me him in DraftKings. I don't probably mind it for cash. I hate the underdogs this week, to be completely honest. So I'll probably have Nate Manus in a couple of my lineups, but I'm really hoping to go elsewhere. I really think Mateus is gonna finish this fight. What do you got, bud?
This is a confusing.
Oh, that's
fight
the other.
me.
Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. That's the other thing. This is the big thing. 125 exactly. He's 5'10". Mendonça going back to his original weight class. Sorry, go ahead.
So this fight's confusing me for a couple of reasons. So I have a small bet on Maness at plus 190, but the number was too wide. We're used to paying like the Russian tax. Now we're paying the Shooto box tax. Like we're starting to pay those tax for these guys. If they have dyed hair and they're from Shooto box, like we're paying a tax on them.
What about the owl tattoo? I like it. I dig.
I mean, look, it takes commitment.
That is true.
So I'll
the
give
artist
that.
there. The eyes are fucking great.
So here's where I'm like kind of confused here, and like I've said this before about certain fighters on this very program, is that I still don't know what to make of Mendonce after a couple of fights. He went in against Ajim on the Contender Series, who's a total can crusher and a bum. And he flatlined him in, 30 seconds, as he should have. And he was a minus 300 favorite. And then he fights Javid Basharat, who I'm higher on, I think, than a lot of people. I think dude's got incredible fight IQ. He's tough. He's smart, like well-rounded. Like, I love him. And Mendonce, he had a decent first round, and then he kind of fell apart against a better fighter. But he was also, Javid was like a 3-1 favorite in that. So like he's getting mopped up as a dog. He's winning as a favorite. I still don't know what to make of his skill set. Like he's every other Shooto box guy, to be honest. Like his grappling seems okay. He's explosive. I don't think his cardio is great, but what they're giving him at Shooto box now, like this asparagus is like, it doesn't fucking matter anymore. Like these dudes are machines. And then Maness, it's like he shows these flashes of like a great skill set. Like I don't care about him losing to Tajir and Umar. Like it's fine. Like Umar and Tajir would beat Mendonce, like no problem.
Yeah.
There's a world where that fight with Gravely stopped. I mean, it probably should have been stopped. Like he took a beating, but he didn't, and he showed some heart and he came back. And Gravely, you talk about fight IQ. Gravely's fight IQ is awful. But even Luke Sanders is having success on him. Like Johnny Munoz Jr. controlled him for like I think 9 minutes in that fight, still lost. Like so Manessa's got good skills, but like he's always losing in a fight. I think there's a case to be made for a live bet here on Manessa after one. If you don't like what you see with Mendonce's cardio, I like the under because I think Mendonce's win condition is probably a KO. And I think if he starts to tire, Manessa's shown like, dude, he'll go for submissions. He's decent on the feet. He's going to look like shit tomorrow on the scale because he always does. But I'd say that's important too before you really make a move. I took Maness just because the line was wide. I thought plus 190 was good, realizing it is no longer good. But I don't have a lot of confidence in it. I may hedge out with like Mendonce, like KO, like just get the other side of it. But I think a live bet's probably the best way to go.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all, and I actually like the blue hair. Actually, kind of looks good on the guy.
It pops with the way you have the Vegas 80 and the money lines in blue. Like,
hey, accidental
and my shirt.
Or coincidence.
It pops with my shirt in my background right now. Too. It's like a lot of blues going on.
There you go.
He does. Maness definitely does not look like the healthiest man on the planet. I will say that.
Yeah, and this is his photo before finishing the weight cut last time. Next, we've got my girl Karolina Kowalkiewicz taking on Diana Belbita. Kowalkiewicz minus 155 favorite, plus 135 for Belbita, 8,600 for Kowalkiewicz, 76 for Diana, minus 350. Fight goes the distance, plus 275 to finish early. Lou, any betting lines that jump out in this matchup?
Yeah, I already took the bet on Kowalkiewicz at minus 154.
Yes.
I got a rare blue balloon from Bet MMA Tips. I'm like, dude, I just put it in, man.
Right?
Yeah, I put my bets. Like that's the thing. The only, except for the props, I just haven't done that today because I fired some and whatever. They're not going to really change. Yeah, I'm betting Kovalevich. I know there's an age difference here, like a prominent age difference, and I know there's a lot of trends on that. I just don't ever like Belbita. I don't think she does enough. She's never winning by finish. She doesn't. She throws a lot of strikes. She doesn't land a lot of strikes. Her takedown defense is so bad. I mean, Hannah Goldie took her down. McCann took her down a bunch. DePaula took her down. I think Oliveira took her. Like she gets taken down. Kovalevich, at least if she wants to get a takedown here, probably can. And I don't think Belbita can get up, even if Kovalevich isn't doing much. So I know Propahol gave away the Kovalevich sub, but he's 22 years old. So like there's that. It's probably a Kovalevich decision. She probably gets on top and does like a whole lot of nothing, and it's enough. And even on the feet, like Belbita is not like some crisp, brilliant technical striker. Like and her like range management is really bad. So give me Kovalevich. I think this line is. I think it's a fair price. I think if anything, I'm probably getting a little. I think I'm probably getting a decent deal on it because I would think with the takedown equity, she should probably be a little higher, like 180 range.
Yeah, I agree. And she's not exactly out here taking people down left and right, but she did take down Gomez Juarez twice. And Jessica Penne, she actually landed a takedown on as well, even though she got handily out controlled in that one. But she has rattled off 3 straight victories at strawweight. I guess the last one was a catch weight because Vanessa probably missed weight, if I had to guess off the top of my head. But not everyone, but a few people talking about Belbita's like huge volume, which I guess is true overall, but no one's talking about how many punches she gets hit with. Gloria DePaula almost 6 per minute got landed on Belbita. Hannah Goldie landed over 6 per minute. Molly freaking McCann landed 7.5 strikes on her per minute and took her down 5 times. So yeah, I'm taking Kovalevich. She's fought the much better competition. I like her for cash in DraftKings. I even like her for GPP, honestly, if she can get some takedowns. 1 or 2 of them, and maybe just some control time. Even some ground and pound would be nice because Kovalevich, she tends to not look great in the first round, and her face honestly looks like she's gonna quit half the time. But then something happens, and lately she's just been battling and just looks great, especially towards the end of the fight. So I'm backing my girl Kovalevich over Diana Belbita this week, and I like her for DraftKings. Honestly, I don't think she's going to score off the charts. It's not going to be anything crazy. For GPPs, I'll keep it relatively low, but I think I'm going to get some value here. Everybody's on Belbita except for my guy Lou, so I like to see that when I'm on the other side. Next fight. Here we got an interesting one. Iwan Cutelaba taking on Felipe Lins, minus 325. Fight does not go to decision. So the complete opposite of the last one. Plus 250. Fight does go minus 150 for Cutelaba, the Hulk, Mr. GQ Man of the Month. Plus 130 for Felipe Lins. 8,300 for Cutelaba. And I love to see that because where's his tab? There it is. He is under his average salary of 8,400. Which I love to see. Cutelaba has some of the best DraftKings numbers on the entire card. He is kill or be killed. Tons of first round finish wins, tons of first round finish losses as well. A huge value per win, controls a ton of the grappling time. And that's the thing. When you think of Cutelaba, maybe you think of his KO numbers, something like that. He does get subbed a lot. However, 77% takedown defense, 59% takedown accuracy, guys. Almost 60%, lands 4.75 takedowns per 15 minutes. I mean, just incredible number. As I said, controls well over 60% of the grappling time, 83%. So 5 of his 6 UFC wins over 100 points. Love him for DraftKings, but you also have to love his opponent for DraftKings as well. I'm picking Cutelaba. I'll have much more of him rostered than Lins. But if Cutelaba can't get it done, Lins could land a counter shot, and Cutelaba could go down just as easily. So I love this fight for DraftKings. Play both sides, but my personal pick is the Hulk, Iwan Cutelaba. Lou, what do you got on this one?
So I wish you had a breakdown of what his stats were per round DraftKings wise, because
I think I'm going to start doing that.
Because what do you have? 8 takedowns against Jacoby in the first round. Like, yeah, I mean, that like kind of. So now you're talking about his takedown defense being good and his takedown accuracy being good. Do you know why he gets subbed? because once this fight goes past 4 or 5 minutes,
Yep.
but he starts shooting sloppy and he makes a lot of mistakes on the ground. Look, Johnny Walker choked this dude out. I mean, Johnny Walker, I know he's working on his game. Johnny Walker should not be choking anybody out at this level. And Lynn's hasn't had a sub in 5 years, but Lynn's round 2 sub is like plus 1,800, and I took a small poke on that. I think the best way to bet this is one of two ways. If you like Kuryaba, I wouldn't even do Kuryaba round 1. I would look for I know DraftKings does those parlays like Kuryaba and under 1.5. I feel like you give him a little bit extra, you know what I mean? Like you never want to because if he wins in the first minute of the second round, you're like, God fucking damn it, man.
Right.
But I think a Lynn's live bet is the way to go here. If Lynn's doesn't look hurt after the first round, because I don't love Lynn's skill set. I don't. But and he doesn't have the urgency to really beat the shit out of anybody. But I do think it has nothing to do with him more than Kuryaba is just so hittable past that 5-6 minute mark that I think Lynn's can just easily tee off. I don't even care about a prop here. I like the round 2 sub because it's 1,800. Because it pays more. But
yeah.
I think Lynn's my guy Steve Gregory.
Yes, dude, he's right. Wow, I saw it immediately after I read that. He's not wrong.
I mean, Lynn's is probably going to be, unless they've caught on, if Kuryaba dominates him like he's known to do, landing shots, chucking him down. And by the way, his takedowns aren't entry and get the guy down. He's spiking you like a football.
Yeah.
This dude, it's like the most violent takedown ever. It's not even technique. It's just I'm throwing you on the ground, dude. Why you get so tired? I think you probably, if you can get Lynn's at plus 250 or better after 1, I think it's a must play. I think we probably will get a number close to that, unless Kuryaba starts tiring in that last minute. But anything over plus 250 for me with Lynn's, I think I like. I get why you like Kuryaba. And look, what's funny is he could get finished and still score 35, 40 points just in the first round.
Yeah. I mean, we could see a Matt Frivola level of knockdowns here.
I see GCQ saying Kuryaba by decision. I'll say this. If his cardio is if he doesn't exhaust himself in the first round and can get takedowns in the second, I can see it, because it's not like he's going to be getting he's not getting a finish in the third round here.
No, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Lynn's doesn't have great cardio either.
Well, and it's better. But if he's getting ragdolled for 10 minutes, I don't trust him to have the energy to get Kuryaba out of there in the third. So I don't think that's I don't think that's a horrible look. He beat Devin Clark by decision. Now we got to talk about this because your odds are now wrong.
Are they?
Oh yeah, we got to talk about this one. You set it up, but we got to talk about this.
Oh, okay. Did I we'll
no,
talk
you didn't.
about
No, Monk. You did nothing wrong.
Okay, awesome. That's all. I like to hear that, Lou.
I mean, not here. You didn't do anything wrong here.
Yeah, here. Bill Algio, Senor Perfecto, taking on Alexander Hernandez. Was he the great ape? Minus 135 does not go the distance. Plus 105 does go. Minus 120, Bill Algio. Plus 100 for Alex Hernandez. Almost a pick'em. Algio, the slight favorite. 8,400 on DraftKings. 7,800 for Alexander Hernandez. And it is your turn to start us off, thank goodness, because I want to know what you're talking about. Apparently the line flipped, according to Silky.
So somebody dropped the fucking bomb on Alex Hernandez.
Really?
And Algio is now, I mean, it's so weird, because if you look at fight odds, it's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But he's plus 111 on Bet Online. He's plus money at a lot of books. He's still he's minus 135 in Bet US. That's absolutely terrible book. But he's a lot of money came in on Hernandez, and I'm wondering who did it, and why. So, all right. So, all right. So let me just get to this, because I have things to say about this fight in my breakdowns. Hernandez is the way more skilled martial artist. In every fashion, he's the more skilled guy. He doesn't have the heart, he doesn't have the cardio, but in terms of his skill set, he's the more well-rounded guy.
Even on the ground?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu? Okay.
Algio's. I mean, Hernandez could take him down at will. I think Hernandez is strong enough to be able to like do damage to him on the ground. So here's what you have to ask yourself if you're on the Hernandez side. Can he win by finish early before his cardio saps? And I think the answer is no, because Algio is just fucking tough, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and I love to clout chase when I say this, like that I know the dude that trained Algio, like that I went to high school with this guy. I still talk to this guy. And this is like, I don't fear a lot. Like I'm challenging Chris Curtis every opportunity I get.
It's like our version of Dan Soder and Josh McDaniel.
Like I don't fear a lot of people. I wouldn't fuck with Crew Corner. Like this dude would murder me in like 2 seconds. And even if I was like peak physical shape, this dude would have. I mean, like I saw the shit he was doing in high school before he was trained. This dude took on like 6 people in a soccer game, like a brawl, like no problem. I was like, oh my god, dude, he's badass.
I need to be your friend.
So, and his blend that he has, it's like, it's got some MMA wrestling. It's more Muay Thai, but he's kind of taken styles because he traveled to Thailand for a while. He's taken some styles. Like this is the Nook Toy gym that my friend Crew Corner runs. That's where Algio started. Now Algio has his own gym in King of Prussia. He might have 2 gyms now. My point is this, is that you don't get to be in this kind of gym without being like just one of the toughest sons of bitches on the planet. It's not even about his skill set. The dude's a fucking tough guy. So that out of the way, Hernandez coming off a decision win against Jim Miller. Now, how did he win a decision? Did he conserve his cardio? Not necessarily. Miller didn't push a pace because Miller is also at the point in his career where he kind of has to conserve his cardio, like as he gets older. So hooliganism is a wonderful base. Steve, at the end of the show, I don't have a lot of soccer picks this weekend, Steve, but I'll tell you what I liked when we get to the end. I have 3 bets I like. That's about it.
And we will have time.
They're all overs. It's a tough week. So I don't think that Hernandez can win a decision here because I don't think Algio will allow him that pace. Hernandez could get 7 takedowns in the first round. Algio's going to keep getting up, and it's going to exhaust Hernandez. I think Hernandez has to bonk him to win. So whoever threw this ton of change on Hernandez either has confidence because he's the more skilled guy or they know something. So I have a bet on Algio for 1 unit. I'm not adding to it. I think Algio is another great live bet. I mean, he throws like herky-jerky shit, but he just doesn't get tired, man. Like, he's tough. What's up, Justin? So I'm picking Algio still. Like, somebody's going to either win or lose a lot of money, but like Algio plus money, like I almost kind of want to like add to it, dude.
I mean, yeah, with that argument, I don't see why not. I mean, even for DraftKings, Algio is basically a little bit better than above average, which on this card is definitely above average. Well over 3 points a minute, almost everywhere, almost 100 points per win. 2 of his 4 wins over 100 points. Not a great takedown defense, as Lou alluded to. 54%, almost 4 takedowns allowed per 15 minutes, but never been finished in the first round. Constantly kind of pays off his salary. He's right about his average salary. And Hernandez, 32% takedown accuracy, lands 1.38 takedowns per 15 minutes. Obviously, that is a possible path here. Like Lou mentioned, if he gets 7 takedowns in round 1, you're going to want some of him. But as the fight goes on, yeah, Algio's tough as shit. I basically completely agree with everything you said, Lou. And for that reason, I was already going to pick Algio, and I think I still like the pick, but for DraftKings, I think I'm going to just roster both guys at a medium type level. Nothing crazy.
I think you have to.
You have to. You really do.
Well, Hernandez probably scores more. Hernandez probably scores more in a win.
In a win, yeah.
Like
actually, on average, he only scores 93.5. So he's in a win. By Algio in a win, yeah, 93.5.
What does Algio score in wins?
Historically, 99 is what
What did Algio get in the Herbert Burns fight?
Do I have that one? Yes,
like
106. 106.5. He scored 116 against TJ Brown. So that is really raising.
I thought the Burns fight might have been the one that like kind of like pushed that average up because even at the end of that first round, Burns
Yep.
just like Aljo would take him down at like whenever he wanted, and then he wouldn't get up, and take him down, wouldn't get up. Like, I mean, it's like I think it's like he's like, dude, you want 5 points?
Is that the one his knee blew out in, or was that the Matt Brown? I can't remember. I'm getting Herbert Burns fights jumbled in my head. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Plus money.
Listen, fucknut. I'm an old man that like tries to use Discord as best as I want. You know, you want me to type my shit up tomorrow morning? I'll fucking type my shit up tomorrow morning.
I love how you started.
Who did the shoey, Steve or me?
With the listen,
man. It's coming in with all this sass.
You in the morning.
Jesus Christ! I will say this. I mean, dude, it's like everybody in that Discord is like I'm the dumbest guy in that Discord. I know that's not really saying much. I'm the dumbest guy in that Discord, but like it's by a large margin.
Large margin.
Now that being said, I'm easily the coolest guy in that fucking thing.
I mean, come on.
It's not even close. Bunch of nerds.
You're doing the show from the middle of the squared circle.
You know how I know I'm the coolest guy? I forget that I'm in a Discord.
And with that,
I go like outside.
You might be the coolest guy, but I tell
I'm
you,
not as good looking as this motherfucker.
The most handsome son of a bitch, Drew Dober, my guy from Omaha, taking on Ricky Glenn. Minus 270 fight, finishes early. Plus 210 goes all three. Minus 400 for the DraftKings most expensive player at 9,500. Plus 300 for Ricky Glenn, 6,700. Lou, 6,700 has made the optimal lineup twice in a row. This is the cursed salary. Is it going to be 3 times? I think I start this one. Actually, no. Did you just go? It doesn't matter. Go ahead. Why don't you start it?
Dober round 1.
I love it.
It's a get right fight.
Yes.
I mean, Giagos killed this dude.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know why the only reason they made this fight is to get Dober, like, just get him a nice win, get him on track.
He deserves it.
I mean, like, there's nothing more to say about this fight. Like, Dober is going to be, I mean, even at 9,500, dude, he's getting around 1 KO. So he's getting a knockdown. He's getting 90, like, for the round 1. He's going to get, 0.5 points for 1 significant strike. Just, like, that's it. I think the 1 minute finish is totally in play here.
Oh, my goodness, dude. I can only get so hard.
I literally, this fight doesn't make, like, the only reason that the fight makes sense is that they're like, we got to get Dober, like, just get him back on track. Like, that's it. Nothing more really to add here.
God damn it. I love it. I love Dober. I'm going to be playing him at 9,500 cash. I'll be playing him in GPPs. I completely agree with you. I'm hoping for the round 1 finish. No, I don't. I'm throwing caution to the wind, baby. Yeah, round 2. I mean,
he has 5 minutes to land 1 punch.
Oh,
I think he lands 1 punch in 5 minutes.
Oh, come on, Drew. Come on, Drew. And this is a total bias pick. I can't hide it, obviously. Yeah, I'm picking Drew. I won't have much of Glenn at all. Honestly, 3 weeks in a row. Is that even possible for 6,700? I mean, I don't believe in jinxes, curses, none of that shit. So I'm going to look it right in the face and say, not again. 6,700. Give me Drew Dober.
I just want to put this out here too. Like, you know, I see Steve and Zach like fighting against this, and that's fine. These are 3 of the last 4 dudes he's faced. Okay. For Vola, hits like a motherfucker. Rafael Alves hits like a motherfucker. Terrence McKinney hits like a motherfucker. Dude, he's facing the most, and he fought all 3 of those fights. He's like, let's fucking go. Bobby Green, who at least is like a boxer, he's like, let's fucking go. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, he's not scared of Ricky Glenn here.
He was the first one to put Bobby Green down, yes or no?
At least in a while.
In a while.
But like Ricky Glenn does not offer the kind of power that Dober's going to be worried about. And Dober's been hit harder by way better guys. The Giagos look to me is so bad. It's so bad. Like, Giagos just starching him so quick. And I had a bet on Ricky Glenn on that because I think Giagos is kind of sucks. And he just his foot's out the door, man. Like, yeah, it's plus 150. I think 160 for his round 1. I don't care. I don't care. It seems like horrible value. I don't care. Like,
yeah. I mean, the guy looks like a Lego character. Come on, going against a real life statue in motion.
Yeah, I mean, in the distance, like minus 200. I mean, I'm sure it happens. Like, you know what? I'm curious about one thing. Let me while we're moving on, I want to see what DraftKings has for this round 1, round 2 grouping, because I know that like sometimes you'll get kind of a decent price here.
I know that's the one thing. I don't even have. They don't even let me see it, Lou. They don't even let me see it in Texas.
It's minus 165 if you wanted to do Dober 1-2. There's really no reason to even add the KO because
no,
like you're really not getting like any value just to add it. So
yeah.
I mean, you may at that point you just may as well go in the distance. But I think round 1 is just he's gonna murder. He's gonna hit him once and that's it. Like I don't think it takes more. I mean, he hits way harder than Giagos.
Oh god,
and Giagos hits hard. Like don't get me wrong, Giagos is underrated power, but not like Dober.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think and Ricky Glenn's not wrestling here either. I don't think.
No,
so
I wouldn't think so. It seems like Dober shut that down. Next fight.
I'll look up the under 1.5 for as you talk.
Sounds good. I'll set it up here. The co main event of the evening. What did we decide? It's Joaquin or Joaquin? I'm gonna go Joaquin Buckley.
New Monza.
New Monza taking on Alex Morono, the Great White. That's his nickname. I looked up at the light and not the camera, so now I'm blind. Minus 210. Fight does not go to the distance. Plus 170. It does go. Minus 175 for Mr. Buckley. Plus 150 for Mr. Morono. 8,700 for Buckley. 75 for Morono. Lou, what do you got on this one? Did you find your DraftKings before we start?
No, they asked about under 1.5.
The Joaquin Buckley. There you go. Sorry.
Yeah, don't be racist.
I didn't mean
Don't be racist, and definitely don't say that his nickname is something else that we said on the other show tonight involving a defendant.
Not we. Where's my goddamn banner?
Tommy and I.
Oh, okay.
That's we. Talking about a defendant and rising. So I'm already ready to get out of this bet. I took Morono at plus 150. I'm getting reverse CLV'd out my fucking ass this week, dude.
Oh no.
It's terrible. I took him at plus 150 because I'm like, man, skill for skill. I think he's all right. What did Pat call? Oh, Pat was Al Hassan. He said he should be called the Great Black.
Yeah.
All right. But Pat said it. It's okay.
He did.
We can say it now. Probably. I don't know.
There's video evidence.
So here's the thing. I think Morono's a way more skilled guy. It's not even there. He is. Like right on cue. Right on cue. There's Pat. There he is. The Great Black.
That's the second time he's made me laugh.
I think Morono is just like so much more skilled here.
Oh.
Except here's a couple of problems. That's why I put the bet on Morono. Jesus Christ. This is why I like the show.
Hey, I watched all of Oz. That was rough.
Oz was great, dude.
I was not old enough.
So Buckley's more athletic. I just don't love his skill set. The one thing that I like here is he kicks more than like Morono doesn't throw any fucking kicks, dude, ever.
Yep.
So at the very least, if Buckley like wants to kind of stay at range, like he can. The one thing that's making me nervous about I'm going to pick Morono. I'm still going to pick Morono here. I have a bet on him. I'm going to pick him. What I worry about here is this. Like, Morono was getting tagged by Means a lot. Like, a lot. To the point where, like, he just grabbed the choke.
You mean the greatest of all time, Tim Means?
Dude, I had a bet on Dirty Bird in that fight. I had bet on Dirty Bird last fight. Like, I love betting Dirty Bird. I didn't bet him against Holland because I kind of figured, like, Holland's just going to do some stupid shit. But I think Morono's skill for skill is the better guy. Also, if this thing hits the third round, if this thing hits the third round, like, whose cardio do you trust more? Like, Morono didn't look great in the third round against Ponzinibbio, but he took that fight on for like 4 days. Yeah, but he took it on like 4 days' notice.
Right.
Dude, Buckley doesn't have great durability. I think Morono can knock him out. So yeah, the pick's Morono. I feel like it's a square as an underdog play as you can make this week. Although now Algio is going to become my new fucking square dog.
Right. Yeah, I don't. I
By the way,
hate.
hold on. Before you go, Oz
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
even the best show. Oz is a great show. Oz wasn't even the best show on HBO.
Oh no,
The
I mean,
Wire is
The
the best
Wire
show on
is the best show
HBO.
on HBO.
Like, how do you feel about Westworld?
Confused. Season 1 was good, and then it really jumped off a cliff. What do you feel about Deadwood or Boardwalk Empire?
Oh, tremendous shit. Deadwood, I loved.
Oh,
Dude.
Deadwood.
And I like that
Timothy
Deadwood had no
Olyphant.
problem killing off main characters. It's like, oh shit,
Oh,
he's done.
dude. That when
I'm
that
like, oh
kid
shit, he's
got
dead. Like,
spoiler
that's it.
alert, when that kid was riding that bike and the horse. Oh man, that was out of nowhere. Just
my god, we're gonna have to block.
Stop
this
it, Big Steve.
We're gonna have to block him from the channel. Like, look,
overrated.
in all fairness, he lives in Australia where everything's nice. Like,
Yeah,
definitely, Australia didn't start as a prison colony or anything. It's a myth. It's a myth by big prison. Like, Baltimore is a dirty, ugly city, man. Like, I live in the Philadelphia area, and Philly has some really bad areas. Baltimore's fucking shitty.
You ever heard of Michael B. Jordan there, Steve? Where's Wallace? Huh? What about Idris Elba? Nobody knew who Idris Elba was. What about Michael K. Williams? Nobody knew who that was.
What about Lance Reddick?
What about
passed
Lance
away?
Who just
passed away recently? But Lance
who's
Reddick
also in Oz, but wasn't a crackhead. So there you go.
But was a bigger character in The Wire.
Yeah. I mean, McDaniel.
Is this I can't tell if this is a compliment or not. I think this is.
It has to be. Al Swearingen, one of the best characters of all time in all of television history.
Now I know. I also know that there's a movie out there. There's a movie out there that's in Steve is Serbian. He should look.
I haven't watched it.
It's called A Serbian Film.
I have not. I don't think I should watch it.
I'm going to tell you right now, if you can even get through reading the plot summary on Wikipedia, I'd be impressed, because you're going to be like, what the fuck is this?
Dude, yeah, I don't think I can do it.
I never watched it. My buddy was like, this is a great movie. Like, it's like, oh, it's getting banned because it's art. And I'm like, what the fuck's it about? He's like, oh man, like, and he's explaining, he's like, oh, it's this porn guy, and he's drugging him, and he's making him fuck his kid. And I'm like,
what?
I'm like, why would I want to watch that, dude? And he's like, no, man. You're like, you don't get it. I'm like, I mean, I think I do. I think I get it. I think he described the movie I don't want to watch. And it's literally called A Serbian Film. They're like, no, we made this to protest the government. It's like, there were better ways.
Yeah. You've taken metaphor too far.
See, Steve just being contrarian in chat right now. He's fucking, dude, he's drunk. There's no way this is like, he's seen it 3 times with 3 different girls. I can confirm Steve does not know 3 different women.
Can confirm. All right, where do we do this? Are we done? Did I?
No, you have to go about it.
I hate Alex Morono for DraftKings. He doesn't score well ever. He scores well under 3 points a minute everywhere. Average points per win is 86. I mean, we've seen a couple of round 1 finish wins and losses, but it's been a while, as Aaron, what's his name, would say. Other than that, I mean, I guess if Buckley gets tired, there's definite finish potential. So I will put him in a little bit, but I just don't like it overall. His numbers not great. Buckley also not great numbers overall. Inside the distance, he's scoring over 4 points a minute, which is great. But he's also getting more points than that put on him inside the distance. Scores 95, almost 96 per win, which is better than Morono. But he is also $1,200 more expensive. So no round 1 finish wins. He is a round 2 finisher. So he's not quite getting all of those bonus points that you would need for him to make the optimal lineup. His chin deck's also not great. While he does have a good power index, he does get knocked down as well. So the longer this fight goes, I think I got to side with my guy Lou again. I'll be rostering both guys. I won't be too happy about it. I'll probably be around the field, and I'll just, just in order for me to not miss out. So I'll keep it moving on that, and we'll get to the co-main event. Also, I mean, Buckley, there's a distinct difference in the way these two guys look. And I don't mean skin tone. I mean muscle mass in general. They don't even look like they should be fighting each other. Next fight, Joe Pyfer, Body Bags with a Z taking on Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Long story short, I am playing the crap out of this fight for DraftKings. I will be very high on both sides. I guess not very high, but very high on the fight as a whole, and I'm definitely playing both sides. That's a better way to say that. And for the obvious reasons. I mean, Joe Pyfer, he could get a first round finish easily, whether it be a sub, whether it be a KO. I wouldn't be surprised to see either one. Al Hassan has been finished at least once, I guess only once in the UFC, 4 decision losses. A lot of his wins, though, in fact, 5 of his 6 wins have been round 1 finishes for Abdul Razak Al Hassan. He's the Derek Lewis of this weight class, basically, of this fight, I guess. You have to play him whether you think he's going to win or not, because if he lands a counter on Pyfer, who does not have very much UFC cage time, this fight is all over, and you don't want to miss out on that. So give me both sides. The pick is probably going to be Joe Pyfer, but believe that I will have Al Hassan rostered. Lou, what do you got on this one?
Well, I took the poke on the round 1 KO for Al Hassan. Like, I have to. This line's way too wide. Now, I understand why it's so wide, because if he wants to, Pyfer should have a grappling path here. He should absolutely have a grappling path. Will he? I don't know. And this dude is way too hittable and sloppy to be this big a favorite if it's just on the feet. Way too big a favorite. I'm like, it's Al Hassan's interesting to me because, like, look at his last 4 fights. Like, losing to Malkoun, I don't think is like, that's just a bad stylistic matchup for him, the way Malkoun fights. Okay. The Dear Chico fight, that's what he does. The Buckley fight to me is like one of the more interesting ones because Buckley started taking him down because he's like, I don't want to fuck with his power, which is what I think Pyfer could very easily do that here. And if he does take him down, he's probably going to style on him. But what I was impressed with Al Hassan in that fight was he won the 3rd round. He looked like the fresher guy. He was going for his own takedowns. His top control was decent. And Buckley is not like some wizard on the ground. But Al Hassan showed some reserve, and I'm like, man, dude, he might, if he stole the 2nd somehow, he's going to win the fight because the 3rd was very clear for him. So if I'm Pyfer, I'm taking it to the ground, but we don't know that he will. And I mean, this is a dude that's getting lit up in the Contender Series against Ozzy, man. He gets hit. Amidowski was hitting him.
And that's bad.
But these are dudes that aren't going to put his lights out. Al Hassan and not only that, but Al Hassan's kicks are nasty too. So he's well-rounded striking. He's getting older, but this is the perfect style fight for him at his age. So, if you're parlaying Pyfer, I don't want to mention names, but I'm sure we know a bunch of people in the community that are parlaying them. You just fucking asking for it, man. You just ask. The under 1.5 is unplayable. It's minus 200 something. The thing is this: if this thing gets out of the 1st round, how does this fight look to you?
Slop fest, as in anything could happen.
But if it gets out of the 1st round, I have to think that either they respected each other's power,
okay,
or that maybe Al Hassan kind of stayed out of trouble on the ground. And if that's the case, and it's not so easy for Pyfer, I wonder how this fight plays out as it goes along. So that's a funny way to put it.
Yeah, and in fact, last thing I'll say for DraftKings, I like it for GPP, but for cash, I'm not going to play Joe Pyfer in a bunch of cash lineups. For the same reason Lou just said, he's not going to be parlaying him for the exact same reason.
I mean, either one of these guys conceivably could score 0 points.
Exactly. Yep.
The volatility here is crazy.
Yeah.
And the winner's going to score. The winner is almost assuredly going to score an Al Hassan win, and I'm sure he's going to be a popular dog, but an Al Hassan win, he's over 100 points at 6,900. That's how you win $100,000.
Oh yeah.
That's how you win a GPP is you have to have him. Because if you have Pyfer, this isn't a big, huge, this isn't a big underdog card. I would almost say at this point, you have to play her. You have to play Hernandez since the line flipped. You're now getting value with his money line versus his salary. But this is not a dog-laden card in terms of people that I think have good DraftKings scores. And Al Hassan's going to be a super popular dog. Super popular.
Most likely. I also think Pfeiffer is going to be heavily popular as well. So I think it's
Yeah,
it's
I
going
mean,
to
in
be a
that
very, very
range,
top loaded fight.
who was 9,500 that we talked about?
It was Drew Dober, and then the next guy we're going to talk about is 9,400.
I mean, I'd rather pay the 200. Like, well, out of all these guys, maybe I want the next guy.
Exactly. And I think Drew Dober's my number 2 guy. I think Joe Pfeiffer's my number 3 guy out of the top 3. And then this guy is my number 1 guy. My guy from Stromsburg, Nebraska. You know, Lou, Stromsburg, Nebraska, right outside of York, Nebraska, which is where my dad's side of the family kind of settled here after they came in from your neck of the woods, actually, Pennsylvania, where they originally started.
Pennsylvania is a big state, right?
Yeah, well, I know, but they settled there, then they came here. I'm just saying, hey, then the woods is a big area too. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, yeah, so pretty close in vicinity to Mr. Grant Dawson here. Grant Dawson taking on Bobby Green, -250 fight ends early, +195 goes all 25 minutes. Grant Dawson, a huge favorite after beating up Demir Ismagulov all over the ground, -425. +325 for Bobby Green, and 9,400, as we mentioned, for Grant Dawson, 68 for Bobby Green. I'll start this one so you can finish it off. As I alluded, I love Grant Dawson this week. I think he can land a few takedowns. I think he could potentially finish the fight early. I'm hoping he doesn't, and he just accrues points over 3, 4, 5 rounds. Get a late finish, possible decision win here would be just perfectly ideal for me. I mean, he controls 90% of all grappling time he's involved in, almost 4 takedowns per 15 minutes. And we've got a 25-minute fight here. Does not never finished a fight in the first round. But as I said, I'm not looking for that from Grant Dawson this week at 9,400. I need 110 points, and I think a win over Green, that could happen here. I am not trying to say this is going to be a guarantee, but I mean, Bobby Green is one hell of a fighter on the feet. He's extremely, extremely tough. That's a great comment. So I will be playing some of Bobby Green at 6,800. As Lou said, not a very heavy underdog card. So I got to find a couple of spots, but I'm just confident, man. I don't know what else to say. I'm just confident in these two styles against each other. I'm just confident in Dawson when that happens. So give me Dawson. I like him in cash. I like him in GPPs. I will have some of Green in GPPs as well. Lou, why don't you take us home before we talk a little footy for a few minutes before we go with this main event?
I don't think Steve Gregory is here anymore, and I think Steve's just queuing up his next shit talk. So I could do soccer in the Discord.
But, Steve? Do we think Steve is Wangro?
Big Steve or Steve Gregory? Neither.
No, either one.
No.
Guys, we got to try to find out. We're trying to find out who Wangro is.
Big Steve just wants me to know it's him. Like, there's no, There he goes. See, he's here. He's just ready. No, they're both here. They're ready.
Nice.
I mean, when's the last time you were impressed with Bobby Green? Like, it's weird. It's almost like people are like, no, he's like he's underrated. His skill set's good. When's the last time you were like really impressed with Bobby Green? Because like beating Tony Ferguson was whatever.
Right.
The Gordon fight was whatever. He was looking good. Fine. The Dober fight was, he gets crushed. The Makhachev fight, short notice, like I can't evaluate that. Short notice. I just don't care. Like he beats Haqparast, who's incredibly low volume. He beats Al Aquino, who was retiring.
Yep.
And the last one he had before that was Alan Patrick, who's like the fucking worst.
Right.
So like when's Bobby Green really look good? Like he hasn't. He also fights a style that people hate because he's low volume. Every goddamn time he gets hit, he's like, no, it didn't hurt me. Yep. I mean, Dawson has a very clear path here. I think the line makes sense because of his path. The problem is the line is so wide because of how he looked against Ismagulov. And people are just like, well, you could do that to him. You could probably do it to Bobby Green. What I worry about, the only thing I would worry about here is if Dawson wants to test his striking because that's what he's working on the most. He's trying to like improve his striking. He's an idiot. I don't think he will. I think he's just going to take Green down, rinse and repeat. The one thing I will say is I actually really favor Dawson's decision more than anything else because Green at least can like kind of stay out of trouble. And like the longer this fight goes, this thing hits the fourth. Dawson's no longer hunting for a finish. He's taking him down. He's taking control. He's taking his back. He's staying out of trouble. He knows he's going to win the fight. I kind of favor this fight going a lot longer than the line. I think this -215 from the 4.5 is crazy. Like, I don't think Green ever gets a finish here. I just don't. No. The funny thing is, I think it's his only path. But I don't think he ever finishes Dawson because doesn't get hit and just immediately take him down and then hold him for the rest of the round. So that's what I have on this. I will give my favorite bet for soccer to these jabrones.
Well, here, how about questions first? 2 questions from Big Steve. First question: Arsenal over half a goal.
That's against.
Are these cheeky questions?
No, that they're playing Manchester City. So I got to see what that number is. I'm pulling it up right now in my book. No, that's not a cheeky question because, like, not at all. What the hell is it? Over? No, minus 345. I don't like that. I mean, both teams to score minus 152s. You know, over under 10 throw-ins. I mean, the one bet I like for Saturday that, like, I don't really love these kind of parlays in general, but Tottenham team total, and they've been hitting this over. They've been hitting this 2 goals in like every game. And Real Madrid, I'm pricing it out right now. I think it was 110 when I looked at it.
Real Madrid?
Yes, real. It's minus 118 for Tottenham and Real Madrid to both score 2 or more goals. Real Madrid's a minus 435 favorite against Osasuna, who's been leaking goals. Tottenham's at Luton Town. Luton Town's not a Premier League team. Like 118 odds is really good for those two. I like Ipswich team total over 1.5 in the championship because I've just literally been riding this bet all fucking year. They've missed it, I think, twice out of like 10 games. And I like Stuttgart a lot in the Bundesliga tomorrow. I think they're like a form team. They're playing really well. They're minus 103 at home against Wolfsburg. I think this is a really good spot for Stuttgart.
Oh yeah. You got any KBO baseball?
Yeah, a lot of singles.
None of that fake shit. Exactly. Well, guys,
I don't like, as far as the Sunday slate goes. Hold on, let me just give you the
Sunday slate. That's what I love about football, man.
So
Saturday
here's the problem.
and Sunday.
So here's the problem. Monk. We're at a point now where like it's a busy schedule for soccer because you have the Champions League, you have domestic cups. So there's a lot of midweek games. So typically what they try to do is they take these teams that are good that play midweek and they try to get them Sunday, just give them a little more rest if they can. But there's like a couple of really good games Sunday, like Brighton Liverpool's a really good game. I would 1,000,000% take Brighton at home at plus 200. Like they're just playing really well. They didn't play well today, but they're playing really well. Liverpool's going to have a few guys out because of the red cards from last week. I kind of like West Ham at home, plus 240 against Newcastle. Newcastle doesn't travel all that great. West Ham's playing really well. Aston Villa on the road, plus 114 is really good. And then Arsenal City, I like the draw. I like it probably. Arsenal gives City a lot of problems. Both teams to score is cheap. Draw is nice price over plus 200. So 4+ money props or bets on Sunday after being a chalk donkey on Saturday.
There you go. Plus MF Doom famously rock shock the boogie down to Brighton. All right, then. So you got to play Brighton. Is that what you're saying? Well, I just wanted to quote MF Doom on the show, really.
Brave fitting it. I mean, West Ham at home is really good. So I think the price is right. You get me 2-1 on a team that I think is playing really well at home, like all day. Same with Brighton. Same deal. Give me a form team. Give me a really good team at home. I like it. And Newcastle's coming off like a major fucking win, beating PSG, like a legendary defining win for them. So yeah, I know Villa battered them. That was a weird, bad game. It's a really weird game. Liverpool's going to have a few guys out for this game because of the red card. So we'll see. I like the price at home for them.
There we go.
Okay.
Well, I don't have shit
if you guys are going to disagree, then why are you fucking asking me? Do you know what I mean? Like, why are you fucking asking me that? These are the bets I'm making. I don't look for like minus 200 bets. I look for what I think is good value. I think Brighton at home plus 200 against a team that has 2 of its starters out, pretty good value.
There you go. Pinpoint accuracy. That's what we're looking for. Lou, what you will tell the people where they can find you, because I don't have anything else going on this week.
You're gonna find me in Australia in about 18 hours. I'm gonna have to get on a fucking plane and get choked out by Steve.
And I'll be meeting you in the parking lot.
At the very least, we'll do it on Steve's channel, and it'll like, you know, he'll get to like 3,000 subs. People just watching me get choked out. I have no other shows. I have no other shows this week. That's it. Friday is my drinking day, probably with Tommy. My other buddy's got COVID, so he's not out.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, I mean, he could go out, and I'd be like, I have to leave now. Because at my advanced age, it will kill me.
Do you ever play Oregon Trail?
Yes. Fuck you, Steve. Look at this fucking asshole. Thanks, fucking dick.
Hey, Steve, thank you so much for watching, but I really, really do appreciate it. I know it's a whole different time zone, whole different area. I mean, Oceania. I mean, come on.
Ruthless.
Big Steve coming through.
Fucking ruthless.
I know I was being used, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
You don't give a shit. Yeah, that's it. I got nothing.
All right. So, yeah, I got nothing either, guys. As usual, I want all of you to enjoy the fight. So enjoy, and we will see you in the next one.